All right, today is Wednesday, first day of the month, December 1st, 2021. Um, Zooming out on the price action for the NASDAQ today, you can see we trended down for majority of the day, starting at around 9 o'clock or so on the West Coast, and just completely sold off for the second half of the day. That wasn't the case for the beginning of the day. So let's zoom in and see what the price action was like this morning on the NASDAQ using the AbleTrend charts. So here we are at market open. We had a sell signal leading into market open. We had 2 and 3 minute resistance printing for some time, had a nice sell signal leading up to market open, followed by a test of those levels, and then sold off again with the sell signal. And then right at market open, we had a bar that went up and touched and tested the 1 minute resistance flawlessly, came back down, and we're in that trade at 24, and got to a low of about 70, maybe 70 and some change. So that was a good from entry to low, a little over 50 points. We didn't capture all of that, but definitely a good signal. When you see kind of that test, and you see this trend leading up into market open, and then that test of resistance right here on the 1 minute. It's a good signal to go in, even though it is right at market open. So that was a good trade right at market open. From there, though, we just kind of bottomed out and traded sideways for some time. Again, I circled my entries. I was kind of in this scalping mode this week. And so good trade there. Reflecting on this trade right here, in the moment, it looks like a great setup. We're kind of going sideways. We get this bar that comes down lower than some of these other bars that came before it. We had the red oscillator. We had tested the 1 minute resistance. I mean, that's a good signal. But when you zoom out and look at what happened afterwards, obviously it looks like a terrible entry. And thinking back with this whole sideways motion, maybe I should have sat on my hands there, but took a loss. And it is what it is. It was a good signal, but maybe when you take into consideration the sideways price action leading up to it, perhaps it was one that I should have sat in my hands and not taken, but I did, and that's that. So moving along, got a buy signal following this kind of sideways action. After the fact, looks like the entry would have been good right here, but at this time, the 3 minute was not showing itself. It shows itself after, obviously, but in the moment, this 3 minute was not showing itself, and so unfortunately, it didn't get in until up in this area, and I scalped it for 15 points. Was lucky not to get stopped out on this little pullback right here, but we were able to secure 15 points. I think I got in a little bit before. I think I got in around here in the 53.5 range or so, but bar closed at 58. We got to a high up here of 77.5. So almost went 20 points. I was able to lock in 15. And that was a good trade on that one because, as you can see, that trend never really established. And that's why I like the 15-point profit target, kind of quick little scalps, is I can still profit on these little trends right here. If I was just following AbleTrend guidelines and following the trend, I'd be in here at 58. That was the first time that this 3 minute started to show itself, even though it looks like it would have come up on this bar, but it actually came up here. So in at 58, and stop is that second level of support, and so we would have been stopped out right there for a loss of about 15 points. So obviously I missed some of these big runs, but I'm able to capture a profit on some of these shorter little trends. So moving along, kind of got caught up in some sideways action for some time. We bounced up here. 2 minute didn't print. Again, looks like it should have printed here, but it actually didn't print until here. And so we were in around 57. Kind of went sideways for a little bit, took some heat down to 47, but then we eventually went upwards. Again, I was looking for that 15 points, and I was actually able to secure it right in this range. Yeah, I was in around 50, 57 or so, and barely got my 15 points right in this range, right in here. So I was out of that. Another great entry from here that I missed. I think I stepped away from my desk for a bit. But right here, we had come down and gotten close enough to support where I would have felt okay in calling that a sweet spot. We went back to blue oscillator, and then we would have been in right here at 70. Took some heat down to 64.5 before going all the way up here to a high of 27.5. So another little 50-point run right there. Moving along, got a quick little sell-off right here, and this was the beginning of that downtrend I mentioned at the start of the video that lasted basically the entire day. 3 minute started to show itself right here. Didn't like that green bar. This was the ideal entry right here. I think I passed up on this one just because it was kind of getting late in the morning for me. But this was a great trade. We had tested the 1 minute resistance up here. We then got the 2 and 3 printing. First red bar, boom, in right there, 56. It went to a low of 24. And so easily could have secured 15, 20 points right there. So that was it for the morning. We then, as I was saying earlier, just sold off all day long with some great trends. Yeah, here 24, took some heat, but then just sold off big time. Another one here, boom, sell at 07.5, low of 37.25. That's just nuts. It's what, like 70 points just right there. Another one here, 63.5 to a low of 10, 53.5 points. Here's another one in this range, we call it around 30. You're short. And this one went, double check that. Yeah, this one, that's what I thought, almost went 200 points to the low. Just insanity. That was the end of the market day. So massive sell-off in the afternoon, kind of chomped around a little bit, but definitely some profitable trades in the morning. Just got to be disciplined and stick to the rules, stick to the guidelines. Good trade there. Could I have avoided this one? Yes, but it is what it is. A good signal at the time, so it went there. Loss, but winner. And it should have been another winner right there, and that would have been a great day. 4 winning trades and 1 losing trade. That's a pretty good morning, if you ask me. That was price action for the first day of December, December 1st, 2021, and that's it for today.